Hey y'all, how's it going? I just feel like talking a little bit about a few topics, not in any, nothing's more important than the other. I just feel like talking right now. I told somebody that asked if I was going to consider reopening my videos from 2022 and 2023. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know if I was posting on this particular channel around those years. I believe I was posting on the channel called Journey into Highest Potential during those years. And it was still more along the lines of spiritual stuff because I felt like divine beingness at the time. A lot of the content that I was posting was more dealing with black women, black men and stuff. And so a lot of stuff, spiritual stuff that didn't have to, I wasn't really talking about black women, just more spiritual stuff. Those were the times that I was posting on Journey into Highest Potential channel. It's called Journey into Highest Potential. I don't believe I was posting on divine beingness around that time. And some of my old videos are not like the kind of videos that I'm making today. Because I've moved in a different direction for from making those kind of videos. And the reason why, like when I talk about the black men and black women, well, I don't really care about that anymore. I feel like each person at this point is responsible for doing their own work, because this is not this particular, in the United States of America, in this particular reality, in this realm, people are very individualistic. So each person is going to be responsible for themselves. Now, each person should be responsible for themselves regardless, but in some communities, you have people who see themselves as family, even if they're not family. They're more communal, right? They come together as one. They don't have this attitude of you on your own and ain't nobody going to help you. See, that's the stuff they say in the United States of America. United States of America is kill or be killed. It's survival of the fittest. And so when people say that in the United States of America, they don't understand that not every area of everybody think like that. People come from different countries. They don't have that kind of mindset. They believe in sticking, coming together. Okay. You have some places that believe nobody should be poor. Nobody should ever be homeless. You have some people that believe that. So they don't get into all that you on your own stuff. You know what I mean? But I want to talk about this really quickly. First, I want to talk about the Big Mama thing. Somebody bought a Big Mama, and I want to talk about like what happened to Big Mamas. What happened to the Big Mamas? Like the lady on Soul Food, like Big Mama on Soul Food, and just the Big Mamas from back in the day, like an Aunt Jemima, Big Mama. You know, those kind of women just aren't around. Those type of women like that were for, I think they were gone after the boomer generation. I think they were gone, and to be honest with you, I think a lot of those women are more from the silent generation. They even come before the boomer generation, right? I think those women even come before the boomers. Okay? You might have some boomers that are like that, but I believe they came before the boomers. Like that lady that was on Soul Food, I believe she was born, like, my parents were born in the 40s. I believe she might have been born in the 30s. And who else? Like the lady from Good Times, Estelle, what's her name? Estelle Rose something. The one that played the mother. See, she can be somebody that's a big mother type too. But she was born before the boomers. Those kind of women came before the boomers. But you know what? Why do people want those kind of women back? Those kind of women were being taken for granted. Okay? But you can't have like a big mama in this day and age in the United States of America, because those kind of women came up around the time of a different type of era. So it was different things going on in the United States of America. They a lot of their parents were sharecroppers, okay? Okay, like they were very close to when slavery had just previously ended, okay? Like their parents were probably slaves. Okay, so you don't have women of today in 2026 with that type of big mama type of mentality where she just taking all the problems of the whole family. And I'm glad about that, because that's a thankless job. You don't want that. I talked about that before, because I've already said this before, that this is my afterlife. The reason I know this is my afterlife because everything that is a mirror. I've literally done meditations, and I just saw that a big mirror. Everything is a mirror. That's happening to me right now is a mirror. It's all a mirror. That means this is not the real world. Okay? And so, what was I going to say? But yeah, it's I talked about how this is my afterlife, and you got to be careful allowing stuff to be weighed heavy on your heart, because while you think your heart is open, your heart is actually closed. Because when you allow yourself to constantly be burdened like that, it actually closes your heart. It doesn't open it, it closes it. You think that because you're always caring about what's happening to somebody else, and it just burdens you to the point where you start to attach yourself to their experience, it actually closes you off if it pulls you down in a way that makes you kind of like feel low. You know, and big mamas are rarely, I don't think they're ever happy. I think they take on so many burdens that they're always depressed and sad. I mean, you think they heart be open, but their heart is actually closed because of the burden. But I was listening to somebody talk about the big mamas, and she was like how the big mamas, most of them were overweight. Yeah, absolutely they were overweight. You can't take on people's burdens like that and be skinny. I'm going to tell you something. I was never a big mama, but I inadvertently took on other people's burdens. And I'm going to tell you, when you do that, you don't even voluntarily take it on, because I don't have friends. Or like, I don't talk to anybody. So sometimes it's just dealing with evil people, evil family members, you know, stuff like that. I want to make sure I don't miss this turn. But I'm going to tell you something else too. I think it's best to just spend some time away from the United States of America. Women and men have said once they got away from the United States of America, they have lost weight. I remember Storm Monroe said that he went to Ghana, and he said when he got there, he like lost weight. So that lets you know that it's a lot of unhealthy, like the towers and the radiation in the United States is just very unhealthy, where a lot of people can't lose weight. It was this guy, his channel is called The Fullerton. Fullerton is in Orange County, right? It's next to Los Angeles. The Fullerton Informer. Fullerton, okay? Fullerton Informer. He talked about why is everybody so fat. And he didn't say that to be mean, because he talks about, his channel is full of talking about the radiation and 5G, because I think he went to school for either engineering, or chemistry, physics. I can't remember. But he went to school for that, right? So when he say why is everybody so fat, he's not fat shaming people. He's not body shaming anybody. He's talking about the radiation, the technology, the 5G, and all this stuff that's going on that's really a danger to people. So right now, you have back then that people couldn't lose weight because, like the big mamas, because they did take on people's burdens. They took on people's burdens. When you take on people's burdens, you, excuse me, I swallowed the wrong way. and it's making me cough. But you take on people's burdens and it causes you to be overweight like that. But right now, it's not so much taking on people's burdens and stuff, because you don't even hardly have to eat. You can exercise, and it's hard to get that weight off. I'm telling you, it's radiation. And sometimes that extra weight could be used to protect you. You know, even a few women that say they left the United States and went somewhere else, like Central America or, Africa, or just visiting different places. They said they lost weight, you know. So United States is a bit unhealthy, and I'm going to have to choose self-love right now. I'm going to have to choose self-love over United States right now. I like United States of America. I feel like I'm going to be honest with you. If it wasn't for the type of entities that was always running United States of America, when I talk about entities, I'm not talking about who you can see. So I'm not talking about the president and all that stuff. I'm talking about who you can't see. I'm talking about the ones that you can't see that's really controlling a lot of United States of America. You know, the water in United States of America, it doesn't have to be poison. You got to buy bottled water. Now, some places you go to, you don't have to buy bottled water. Everything's clean, so you don't have to buy bottled water. When I went to India, Israel, and different places, it was no such thing as the word organic. Everything was organic. Like, you don't just go to an organic section. Everything is just organic. But in the United States of America, you have to go to the organic section, and that might not even be organic. See, the United States is purposely just made trash. Like, United States is literally trash on purpose. And when it is trash because the food is not safe to eat. Cardi B talked about how she went to a KFC. No, she went to a Popeyes. I don't know. It was somewhere in, I think, Central America. Okay, I don't know which one it is, but it was somewhere in Central America, not North America, not United States, not Canada, but somewhere in Central America. She went to a Popeyes. And she said the chicken there, it was so fresh. It was so much better than what's in the United States of America. And then she talking about how they trying to kill you over here. And then, like, even when if I want to do something, like, I know I'm supposed to sing. Now, I'm taking voice lessons because that's not what I saw. That's not what I thought I wanted to do as a little girl. I always wanted to be an actress, right? That's something I always wanted to be. I was told by Spirit that I'm supposed to sing. So I've been taking voice lessons. I'm not like a professional singer, okay? I've been taking lessons. But you know what? I try to stick around the United States of America because if I was to get into something like that, then it's like I would have to like get into a whole new culture. How would my songs be? Like, what would I do? You know, but I have to get off of that because it's even hard as far as I would say it's even hard to really make it in the United States of America doing something like that without really selling out or doing something that you don't want to do. Oh, I had a dream about so many coach, what's it called? Casting couches. I had a dream about that, about a bunch of from women who made no money. Women who made no money, they were on the casting couch doing whatever they had to do for, it was black women too. Whatever they had to do to get these little roles, and the roles they were getting paid pennies. I mean, it wouldn't even pay close to what I make when I'm not even on camera, okay? But it's a lot of people who work regular jobs that make way more than a lot of these people make on TV. Like, they make way more than a lot of reality stars. These reality stars don't even make $100,000 a year, and it's a lot of people working regular jobs making over $100,000 a year. You know, and I said, you know, it would be hard the way United States of America is, the way it's so demonic. It would be hard to really make it in something like that too. Anyway, but I would be able to do it. I wouldn't worry about that because I've never been one to want fame like that because I'm not that social. I don't like attention like that. So I've never been one to want to be like a Beyonce, extremely famous. I can't take that. I like to go to the store by myself still. I like to go to the movies by myself still. I don't want that kind of fame because then you can't go nowhere by yourself. You always have to have somebody with you. You have to go at a certain time. It's like your life completely changes. You're not living a normal life anymore. So I don't want that no way, right? But I gotta see this patient, but I gotta hurry up. But yeah, something came into my mind. I've been going through some bad stuff, but it has a lot to do with the technology. Okay, um, and something came into my mind. Said the 5G. It came into my mind like I saw it in my mind's eye. 5G, and I'm tired of it. It's United States is not worth it, and I believe I have 2 dogs. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna do this. But people move with their dogs all the time. Um, and the place I'm looking at is very, very much dog friendly. Like they are so dog friendly. Um, Sometimes I regret getting those dogs because much as I like them, love them, you can't move around like that. You can't move around with dogs. But I'm gonna have to see what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave for a few months, and my dog needs to go to. I'm letting them spend their young years. Right now, they're 2, so I really am letting them spend their young years in training as much as possible anyway, because I can't give them the kind of training that the professionals can. So in their younger years, I'm trying to get them as much obedience training as possible. Okay, so they can travel with me because people can travel with their dogs all the time. People do it all the time. Okay, I look at Flurburn. She travels so much, and she always take her dogs, and she got like 3 dogs or something. The one we see all the time is Babette, right? But she got like probably 3 dogs, and they're like wolf dogs. I don't know the exact kind of breed, but they're like wolf dogs. I gotta go, y'all. But anyway, and she went to Brazil. She gone to so many Chile, and she carry her dogs with her every single place she go to, including her daughters and whoever. So she don't have no problem with it. I'm not gonna complain, right? I could do it. She could do it. I could do it. You know, because she have a whole lot more on her plate, and she keeps traveling like that with all those responsibilities on her plate. I can do it too. But anyway, I gotta go, y'all. I gotta go, and I will come back and talk about some more stuff. Okay.